Hello, welcome to Cosmic Love Tarot. As you can see, it's not a video this time. Please excuse me. It's not going to be a tarot card reading as such. I've had channeled messages and I've also got two cards that came out. Okay. What's happened with the channel messages that I received today is mainly it coincides with the past, about cultures, religions, and also what's happening on Mother Earth with these volcanoes, floodings, and also with what's happening within the human psyche of going through another initiation where it's to do with releasing the past. Now we're in the year 9 and the 9 is to do with closing out cycles, closing doorways, blocking pathways, blocking the pathways because you don't want the past in, maybe closing portals that you don't need anymore, and also opening up other gateways and finding new pathways and opening up portals for the next ascension. So this is the energy that I've been picking up today. It does feel more of the ones that's on their ascension pathway has been feeling very tired out, drained, lethargic. I'm picking up also you could be seeing a lot of bright light zigzags in the corners of your eyes. Sickness, stomach cramps, itchy feet. Did I say sleeplessness? Wide awake at night. It's like closing your eyes, you're wide awake. You open your eyes, you're tired. Can't seem to switch off. Having enlightenment, having downloads, having clear understanding. Once your eyes are closed, but you're not resting, something's stopping you from sleeping. I'm picking up there's a reason there for some, and the reason there for some, this is you are being attacked in your dream state. I think that I may be talking to people that do also astral travel. Protection is very, very important. But some of you may not be, or may not remember your dreams. So protect your dreams. Put salt around your bed. That really helps, or under your bed. You can do a prayer before sleep. Ask Archangel Metatron to protect your dream state. Because I'm picking by you keeping awake. If this resonates with you, if you are staying awake and you're having downloads, that's also a reason of them accessing your spirit guides, accessing, giving you information when you're in a nice, relaxed, altered state, okay, but not in a deep dream state, so you can forget. It's something that you're needing to know, and you're getting them. You're getting information, but you still can't quite shift your energy. It's as if it's stagnant, it's stuck, you're not moving forward. You want to move forward. You think everything's all stopped, and it hasn't stopped. It's about patience right now, because things are happening that you can't see what's going on. I was going to say everything's happening underground. That may be so. But it's also going on in the unconscious as well. So the reason why I'm not doing the video as such to show the card spread, only two cards came out, and two very, very important cards. The first card is Mary Magdalene, and the second card was Thoth, or the light codes. Okay, so we will go through those in a bit. The other name that I got through my channeled message was the name Samba. Samba is the son of Krishna. Okay, so it's an Indian god. Was he class, or was he a priest? Was Krishna a priest? I've never really looked into it. It's the first time I've actually got this. So I've been feeling lately that my spirit guides have changed, and sorry, I'm just going to burn a bit of dusty. My spirit guides are changing. Our spirit guides will change all the time. Depends in what's happening, where you're at, what doorway you're being moved into. And there'll be Pacific Ascendant Masters that will work with you at those specific times. So if you're feeling that you are with somebody different, or you're looking at something differently to what you used to, it's because you're working now with a different guide. Okay. So this is what's happening with me too. Okay, let me just get this energy around this beautiful smudge stick. Okay, before we start also, I wanted to do for you a clearing and a protection prayer, because I feel the energies right now, we do seem to be quite drained by it, tired, lethargic, and just drained, completely drained. Maybe aching back, legs, like I said, feet. So it's all to do with also the bottom part of the body. Which is quite significant with what I'm going to be saying, because that really coincides with it. That's just come to me actually. Okay, I'm going to say this as slowly as I can, so that you can write it out and use it for yourself. This is a very, very powerful clearing and protection prayer, and it does protect you from any outside influences, negative influences. It blocks you. It blocks you, anything outside of you, from entering your energy field. Okay, so here we go. Thank you for joining me. I would like to say first, thank you for joining me. If you're happy with the reading, please like, please subscribe, leave a comment. That will be really, really appreciated, and share my video. It's all about algorithms, so it'd be great for me to get back out there again. It has been quiet for a while for me, not that I've been quiet. I'm constantly on channel messages, constantly looking at things and learning new things, also making changes in my own 3D world. So I go through changes, and whatever I'm saying, I'm sure you'll also resonate with your own life and what's going on in your life. Like I said, that we are in the year 9, and it's all to do with endings and starting new beginnings. So we will start it off anyway with a clearing and protection prayer. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I, then put your name in, refuse permission for any living and non-physical being to enter my body, my mind, my soul, my spirit, and my energy. Vows and agreements I might have made, knowingly or unknowingly, in all time, space, and dimensions, that in no way diminish the fullest expression of my joyful soul essence. I break these agreements from the moment backwards, through every experience of my past, and from this moment forwards until the end of time. By the force and the grace of God, I command that these energies and people to leave my space now, and ask that you transmute these energies so that they can be transformed into their highest form of light. They have no power over me. I ask for divine protection from these energies, that they are not returned to my energy field in any way or for any reason. Thank you. Okay, I hope that didn't deafen you. Apologies. Okay, let's start with my channeled message. Okay, so I'm going to start off with, I wanted to, I was going to do a meditation, and I wanted to ask 3 questions. The first question was going to be name of my spirit guide. The second question was going to be what energy has been affecting me. The third question was going to be who sent evil eye my way. Bearing in mind, all I know is how I've been feeling. I didn't know that anybody was sending me anything or what's happening. So I'm part of the collective. So if this resonates with you, this is also for you. These questions are also for you. Now, what I got is the name Samba. Never heard of Samba before, and that was my very first thing that I got. So I felt that Samba is playing a massive part for me right now, for my spirit guide of what's happening right now. Okay. Now Samba, I looked into Samba and I find very interesting. Samba as a child. Samba, firstly, I just want to say Samba firstly is the son of Krishna. Okay. Allah Krishna from India. Now Samba is the son of Krishna and his wife, which is his second wife. He had many wives and he had many children. Now his second wife didn't have a child, and she kept asking Krishna that she wanted to have a son. She wanted a child. So Krishna eventually turned to Shiva and asked Shiva to help him to give his wife a child. Krishna had to commit himself to Shiva. So whatever Shiva asked of Krishna, Krishna had to do. Eventually, Shiva was very pleased with Krishna being obedient to him, and he granted Krishna's wife a child, and she bore a son named Samba. Now Samba was a beautiful child, gorgeous looking, everybody loved him, and Samba he loved exploring. He didn't really take any consequences of his actions. He always went against his father Krishna. Krishna was very highly seen. He had a massive follower and still does today. Now Samba was more of rebellious, and whatever he wanted to do, he did, and there was always a consequence. Now this is very symbolic or significant for what's going on in the world today, and also what's going on within the human psyche, in the shadow self. Samba as a child didn't take his actions as serious until they became a consequence. Okay. Krishna always highlighted the consequences for Samba's actions. Now, one particular day when Samba was older, in his younger youth, he fell in love with this beautiful, beautiful young lady. And the one, Krishna's family and children and all his wives and all the wives' families, you can imagine a big, massive family get together against or with another big, massive family on the other side, let's say India, because I can't remember where it was. They come together. All the daughters who was going to be married off to all of these sons, but all of the parents had agreed who was marrying who. So all this was already arranged. It was going to be arranged marriage. Now Samba thought totally different. He was already in love with one of the young ladies. He didn't want to wait in turn. He didn't want to wait and see if she would pick him. So he decided there and then he was going to kidnap her. So he kidnapped her and they got on their chariot and they disappeared. They went. He was hoping to run away forever and live happy ever after in his fairy tale love with his beautiful bride. Now, that caused complete chaos. It caused also destruction to all family members because Samba went against the tradition of how it's done. Eventually, they caught up with Samba and the bride, or bride-to-be, and threw him in jail and embarrassed him on every single level. This was the bride's family and their wives and family. So that's the other side. On Krishna's side, the family, they had issues with that tribe of family. He didn't want to cause too much of a ruffle because his son's already done it for him. And he believed everything will act out how it's meant to be acted out. Now, he chose not to help his son. He chose not to help him at a prison. But Krishna's brother came and asked him to help Samba out of jail. Samba's father said, no, I'm not helping him this time. He will go through and learn his lesson. He needs to learn his lesson. It's his consequences from his actions. He was thoughtless. He didn't think about it. He didn't consider our tradition. He didn't consider our culture. This is the way it's done. This is the rightful way of doing things. He fell in love with somebody who maybe wasn't meant for him, but he took it on himself to take that on. So he will now have to pay the consequences. Now, Krishna's brother decided to go and rescue him. So he went to the other tribe and he asked for Samba to be freed from prison. Now, that tribe just laughed and said, no, he's not. He's not going to be freed. He's dishonoured us. He's embarrassed us. He took the bride. That wasn't his bride. And no, he will stay in prison. Now, Samba's uncle decided to be angry with this tribe. And he fought them. A lot of men died. And so the king of that tribe decided to let Samba go. Now, Samba didn't want to be freed unless he could take his bride-to-be. Eventually, the king to that tribe agreed to it because he was scared of Samba's uncle. So, it sounded like a nice, happy, ever after fairy tale. Samba still got what he wanted and went off with his bride, who he was deeply in love with, and she was deeply in love with him. Okay. So they then went back to their own family and they planned to marry. In the meantime, Krishna, the father, still was not happy with Samba. There is a meaning with all this, so please bear with me. Krishna was not happy with his son, and he gave his son a very hard task to do. And he asked him, I think the Samba was the birth of the iron rod. Okay, so there was something particular that he had to do, and he had to sand it all down until it was sawdust. It was a very heavy, hard job to do, and then throw it all into the sea. Samba didn't like to do things too difficult. When he wants something, he wants it. When he doesn't want to do it, he doesn't want to do it. He decided he didn't want to really do it, not what his dad asked him to do. So he threw in this iron bar, into the sea. Unknown by Samba and Krishna, this bar got split up by the sea energy and got transported into, I think it was like lily pods, but the lily pods were very strong stalks. Nearby was an hunter, and an hunter needed to make some arrows for his bow because he needed to do some hunting. And he saw these lilies, so he started picking them and realised how strong they were. So he turned them into his arrows. Once he finished these arrows, he went hunting. And as he was walking through the woods or forest, whatever it was, unknown to the hunter, that Krishna was resting by a tree. He was just minding his own business, just relaxing by the tree. He thought his son Samba was doing what he asked him to do. And that was that. The hunter was getting closer to Krishna, who was relaxing at the tree. But the hunter couldn't see Krishna. He could only see part of his feet. But for not quite seeing clearly, he thought it was an animal hiding behind the tree. So he got his bow and arrow and he fired it at Krishna's feet, and it stuck into his foot. Krishna was in a lot of pain. The hunter was absolutely embarrassed for what he had done and apologised. Krishna said, "It's okay. It was meant to be." Because Krishna realised there and then that Samba did not do what he was supposed to have done. And because he didn't do what he was supposed to have done, the consequences was a little bit harsh. That backfired at Krishna because Krishna didn't make sure that Samba did it. Or maybe Krishna discovered maybe he didn't need to tell Samba to do it. Actually, it doesn't really matter, does it really? Whatever happens, because Krishna thought he should have stayed in prison. And Krishna didn't let him out of prison. It was his brother that let him out of prison. And it turned out that Krishna got a bow and arrow from the hunter. Okay, so you can see how this kind of, it's like a link, a chain of events, that everybody is connected and interconnected, woven. It's like a woven tapestry. And whatever choice you make, there is always a repercussion. Somebody, somewhere, gets affected in some way, good or bad. Okay, so this is the old story of Samba. Now, with this, oh yeah, okay. Krishna finally realised that Samba was carrying the energies of Shiva, who he turned to and requested a child. He realises that Shiva, which is the masculine energy, Shiva represents destruction, chaos, devastation. Shiva's role is to destroy the universe in order to recreate it. Now, where I'm going now with Shiva is what's happening in the world today. Volcanoes is happening. Weather is being, I was going to say manipulated. Is it being manipulated? I don't know. Volcanoes. I'm picking up chakra points in Mother Earth and ley lines. I haven't double checked on where these volcanoes are, but what is happening is the floods happening in places that hasn't happened for a long, long time. I think, if I remember rightly, even Australia has got snow, if I remember rightly. And so it's happening in a lot of countries, weather. And it feels to me that this weather is being manipulated to scare people. Let me just have a drink of my coffee. To scare people. Okay. So just bear the story in mind, because it's all still to do with energy. Okay. Now, from Samba, understanding who Samba is in his youth, in his childhood and his youth, okay, the card that I picked, because I wanted to know the Divine Feminine, which was Mary Magdalene, Perfect, perfect card. Mary Magdalene, which is art based of the unconditional love of self. She is the bridge. She is the bridge between heaven and earth. She is all human as well as all divine. Mary Magdalene walked alongside, and she was an equal to Jesus. She didn't follow Jesus as such. She was already the apostle to the apostles. She was the divine feminine. Her role was to tap into her unconditional self, to discover her own divine masculine, which was Jesus Christ. And through her journey, she travelled to the south of France and stayed there for 30 years. And it was through that isolation she came into full union with Jesus Christ. Okay, Jesus Christ also being the third eye. Mary Magdalene also appeared, I can't think where now, I think it was Romans, Caesar, yeah, Caesar. And she told Caesar about the egg that she was carrying, and the egg would turn red. He didn't believe her, and he didn't believe that Jesus will be resurrected. Okay. The moment he said, Jesus cannot be resurrected, just as much as your egg cannot turn red. And the egg turned red. Because of that, she had to disappear, because she was being threatened. She was a threat to the Roman Empire. And that's why she went into hiding in a cave for 30 years in the south of France. And that's where she stayed, and she connected to Jesus Christ, her divine masculine. So Mary Magdalene represents the fierce or wavering love that we all have access within our own vulnerable hearts. It's a love that renders all things sacred, from the animals to the angels, from the poorest to the most powerfulest. It's a love that sees the errant worth of all things. It's a love that remains even through the darkest times, even through death. Her love is the one that resurrects. She's referring to Jesus Christ. The Gospel of Mary Magdalene relates that Jesus came to unite us, to demonstrate to us as a true human being, a person who is both fully human and fully divine. This is what Mary became, and it's why she was so beloved to Jesus. She didn't seek to follow him. She sought instead to become her true self, to find her own divinity. Mary Magdalene reminds us that we have the power to receive vision from within. We are worthy of such proximity to the divine, because that's the other half of what it means to be truly human. She reminds us that there's a bridge between heaven and earth, and that we are the bridge. And she wants us to remember that the truest church we can ever enter is in the heart. This is where our true power rests, and where love never ends. Mary Magdalene's intention is, I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. Now this is really beautiful. Mary Magdalene's energy is around you at this time, really helping you to step into the 5D. That is the bridge. The 5D is the heart chakra, the spiritual art center of unconditional love of self, the divine feminine as well as the divine masculine, the true divine. It also reminds me of Isis and Osiris. It's that energy that I feel that a lot of twin flames are coming in union within themselves. They could be coming into a union of their own divine twin in the physical. I'm not picking that up. I'm just picking up on the energy of the divine, which is Mary Magdalene of the heart chakra. It's really tapping into your divine masculine within. And vice versa. It's no gender specific. I only work with energy, okay? So that's Mary Magdalene. That's actually helping you right now with the ending of this year of year 9. It's closing out cycles, but there is things that's happening, that's brewing, not only in the world, but also within you. Now, we are also in Mercury retrograde, so the past could be coming forward, past love, past exes. If not, it could be past memories, because we're in Mercury retrograde. And with the past memories, you could be triggered by a situation you're in that might trigger a past memory of what you once was in. Now, this isn't to trick you at all. This is to do with God is showing you how far you've come. This is about you trusting you of who you are. You are divine. For you to be at that point of your own divinity, you would have had to go through a lot of I'm picking up trials and tribulations, a lot of healing, deep-seated healing, a lot of ancestral healing, a lot of clearing away past exes and curses from the ancestral bloodline. You've done a lot of clearing. You would have done a lot of shifting to reach your own divinity. Okay. But what's happening is everybody is being tested, because we're halfway through the year 9. Tomorrow is the summer solstice, and tonight is the eclipse and the 7 sisters, the 7 stars. 7 stars is just near Orion's belt. I think you'll have to look at Taurus, the Taurus star system, it's in the middle part of Orion's belt, and that's where you'll see the 7 sisters. 7 is very, very symbolic to this reading, okay? So just bear this in mind. Everything is all connected in. So 7 is very, very significant. So you've got the 7 sisters today. I think it can only be seen in Canada and America, of the eclipse and the 7 sisters. Don't ask me why, because I don't know. I'm sure I've seen that somewhere. Please correct me if I'm wrong there anyway. Leave a comment. Right, what else do I want to say? Okay, so the energies that's happening, right, okay. The eclipse and the 7 sisters, there's some connection to Samba and what Samba done in his adulthood, which represents also Sanskrit, 7 chakras. So 7 keeps on coming up in this reading. What else do I want to say? Can't think. Right, okay, the next thing that I got drawn to, and I was going to start my reading, I picked the card Mary Magdalene, and then I picked up my prayer book. It's a little prayer book. You might be very drawn, you might have a prayer book yourself. You could be very drawn to the Bible, reading the Bible, or reading different religions, or being drawn to certain religions. It could be even also Indian, Krishna. It could be, wherever you're being drawn to, you're being drawn there for a reason, to look at something, to understand something, because it all coincides, it's all linked in to what's happening right now. Okay. So, the prayer book, page 4. So 4 could represent something. And this page is the 4th day. So the 4th day, a prayer of trust in God. And it says, God has created me to do him some definite service. He has committed some work to me which he has not committed to another. I have my mission. I may never know it in this life, but I shall be told it in the next. I am a link in a chain, a bond of connections between persons. He has not created me for Nate. I shall do good. I shall do his work. I shall be a preacher of truth in my own place, while not intending it. If I do but keep his commandments and serve him in my calling. Therefore, my God, I will put myself without reserve into your hands. What have I in heaven? And apart from you, what do I have upon earth? My flesh, my art fail, but God is the God of my heart and my portion forever. That's beautiful. It's a perfect, perfect prayer for Mary Magdalene of God consciousness, Jesus consciousness, the divine, okay, to access the unconditional love of self, which is the bridge. And your role is to help people heal, because I'm getting drawn to Mary Magdalene's red egg. The red egg also represents the first chakra, okay. The first chakra now we'll go to, let me just find it, because I did write it all down, so just bear with me just for a moment. Okay, the root chakra is associated with feelings of security, grounding and stability. When balanced, the root chakra promotes feelings of being rooted and connected to the physical world. When blocked or imbalanced, can lead to feelings of insecurity, anxiety, and a lack of confidence. Okay. Now, this root chakra also represents, to me, I remember the 2020 when the whole world shut down. I won't say the name because I'm sure you'd already be aware, but everything changed. And again, we're going through another massive change, but this time it's on a completely different scale. It's still out of our control, but it's to do with the world, Mother Earth, and changes. It's to do with also the plate shift in Mother Earth. That is playing a massive part. I also feel it's a massive shift in the Antarctica I'm picking up. I'm not going to say global warming because I don't feel it's that. Something is telling me it's not global warming, what the government's trying to tell us. It's something that's being manipulated, played with, but still coinciding with what's naturally occurring. It's a natural occurrence, okay? Now, this natural occurrence, and I've said it in many of my other readings, it happens every so many thousands and thousands of years of ice age, floods and stuff like that. Not that that is going to be happening. I don't feel that at all. But what I am feeling is a fear-based. It's a fear-based. There's some shifts that's happening. Okay. Now, at the same time, everything is linked in. Everything is interlinked. Okay. At the same time, what I'm picking up is the undercurrents. What's undercurrent in the energy field, in the cosmos, and also in the sea, in Mother Earth. It feels like a coil, a vortex of energy that's being moved. I was going to say removed, but I don't know how that can happen. But I'm feeling a vortex of something. And this is why we're having these floods. So changes are happening anyway. So yeah, so let's see, right. So I feel that Mary Magdalene is bringing in the energy of the divine for you to be grounded in your root chakra. Also, I just want to point out, there's also what's really, really important, and it belongs to many past lifetimes, which is also your soul star chakra. And I do feel that the darker forces that's been accessing and manipulating your Akashic record, your soul purpose, your mission, God's mission for you, that was meant for you and this lifetime, in your Akashic records has been accessed somehow. And I'm picking up dream state or astral traveling, or what you're disclosing. You might be being open with your readings or where you're at, so you're opening up doorways that should be closed. So be very selective now. It's really important to be very selective of who you let in and what you actually speak out. Okay. Even though you are very, very protected, the divine is with you, your spirit guides are with you, Ascendant Masters is also with you, you feel them around you. God has given you this mission. It's a very, very important mission that you're on, and this is why it's really important. Even this reading is really important because it's reinforcing that everything that you're feeling right now with your body is still part of that energy shift. It's another, it's a code. It feels like I'm being drawn to Thoth light codes. Okay, the lantern light codes, Lantorian light codes, Palladians. It's all being activated because it's meant to be activated. Okay, I am picking up also the 8th Lionsgate portal. Lionsgate portal. Orion's belt. Okay, I can't remember doing a reading on that last year. But this year it's different because it's the number 9. And we're coming to the end of that. Let me just drink my coffee. Okay. Right. Where else do I want to go with this? Okay. I've got 2 beautiful affirmations that I always say to myself when I'm feeling a little bit not sure or unsafe. And just take some deep breaths and say to yourself, I am feeling safe and secure within myself. And I am a loved and lovable person. You can say that as many times as you want throughout the day or every day until you are feeling confident and powerful. Okay. And you're feeling safe and secure within yourself, that you are loved and you are a lovable person. Okay. Because what's happening right now in the world, it feels Shiva energy. And Shiva still represents in some way Samba, and it's Samba that's come to me to show me this. Shiva was also used, that energy, for CERN in Switzerland to open up portals. And what I picked up from that a couple of years ago was that negative entities was coming through. I don't care whatever they say. I know that that is happening. And these attachments, because these attachments was going to be attached to the divine feminine. Now, the divine feminine, not when you've reached that, but prior to reaching that point, when you're still healing in shadow, you can feel vulnerable. And when you're feeling vulnerable, your aura can create little wormholes for these negative entities to burrow their way in through your aura and attach themselves to your mental energy. I've talked about this many times in a lot of my other readings last year, so you can always check them out. So this was the main reason of why CERN got opened up, and it was opened up on the energy of Shiva, which is the destroyer. I don't feel, I honestly do not feel that the ones that's done the work are going to be beat by him at all. So, but I'm giving you this because I feel it's really important still. So let's go back now to Samba. Now, Samba now is an adult. Samba has learned his lessons now with actions and consequences because he's worked through the shadow self. He's now turning into more of the divine now, just like his father, Krishna. And Samba built in respect of the sun temple. He built 2 sun temples. One was called Kanok I think I've pronounced it right. The other one was called Meltan, which is another sun temple, and it's still standing. Now, these are 5,000 years old, and it's based, Meltan Sun Temple is based in Pakistan. So the temple was a massive, beautiful, golden and rubied god. And this temple still stands, even though a lot of it is in ruins. This temple, he built this temple. Sorry, I'm getting drawn to the Divine Mary Magdalene, because the temple is also the third eye and also then called consciousness. So everything, whatever is happening outside of us in the world, with the ley lines and the chakras and these beautiful sacred sites, also represents what's going on within the divine feminine and masculine. So the Sun Temple, was built for a spiritual significance, and that spiritual significance was about the resilience against evasions and destructions of other religions and cultures and beliefs. Now, if you now put it in a term of a human mind, a human soul, who through many, many lifetimes as carrying the same belief of the ancestral belief, and through those belief systems has become very resilient to dark forces. They can fight them off with their bright, God-conscious light. That's how I'm seeing it. So this Sun Temple in Melton, that just, like I said, still stands, and it's 5,000 years old. This is one of the oldest temples in the south of Asia. And this temple was always tried to be destroyed by other religions for political gains. Everything is all to do with politics and power and religion. Now, the Hindus of the Sun Temple was emotionally strongly connected to this temple. They didn't want it destroyed because it represented their God conscious. It represented spirituality. Now, this energy that I'm picking up is exactly the same energy that I've picked up for Thoth. Thoth was the high priest of the Atlantis, from Atlantis, who tried to guide people into spirituality. And not everybody followed him, and not everybody obeyed to the spiritual laws. Exactly the same that happened in these temples. Not everybody obeyed to the spiritual laws. And this happens through every culture, through every lifetime. Even today, people will break the spiritual laws. Even readers can break the spiritual laws by doing things that is against the law. Of doing readings, for example, on people who hasn't asked, or doing spells or curses. Everything is boomeranging, everything is being balanced out. So if ever you are feeling that somebody's done curses on you, don't worry, because everything is being acted out. It's all to do with karma and dharma, okay? Because this is where Shiva is coming. Shiva is the destroyer, and Mary Magdalene is the Dharma. Okay. So the Sun Temple became the pawn to political games. So whenever the Hindus rules sought to reclaim the region, rulers threatened to destroy the temple And so the Hindu kings had to always retreat because they tried to keep hold of their heritage, the culture, the religion, the spirituality that it all represented. Okay. The other temple that Samba had built in his adulthood was in Kanok. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Another sun temple. Now, Kanok, this temple, I think, is completely disappeared now. And this temple was dedicated to the sun god, which represented the rising in the east and travelling across the sky in a chariot drawn by 7 horses. Again, a number 7. 7 horses holding a lotus flower. Now, 7 also represents the 7 chakras, and each chakra is a lotus. Right, okay, so being led on this chariot 2 goddesses shooting arrows, which I found quite interesting because shooting arrows was also arrows being shot at Krishna from the hunter because of Samba's mistake of not doing what he was meant to have done. So the consequences. So bear all this in mind, because this is to do with the goddesses now, the divine feminine. That shooting arrows is a symbol of their initiative in challenging the darkness. So the divine feminine, it takes the divine feminine to work through the shadow self. The divine feminine's challenge is to do all of the healing first before she's able to come into true union with her own divine masculine. Okay. Now this is what Samba I built in Konark of the Sun Temple, which has now disappeared. Now this building was originally built as a chariot wheel. Chariot wheels, 12 pairs of wheels, all corresponding. Each wheel represent each month, so 12 pairs of wheels, 12 months of the year. Each month then got paired into 2, which is the Sanskrit, the Father Krishna, and the other one, I think it's called Shikra. Shukia, Shikra, I think it is. Okay. I haven't looked into that. You can always look into that. But it is to do with the chakras. All of it is meaning chakras. And so that was the other temple that he built. Now, because it was split into 2 energies, which the divine is, the masculine, the feminine, it was shifted into 2 energies. That makes it 24 carved stone wheels. Okay, now the temple was made of 24 carved stone wheels, which is pulled by a set of 7 horses. Interesting. Again, 7. Okay, 6 and 7. So I've got 7 horses. 12 could mean something to you, but 12, 7 and a 6 and a 4 I've had. Okay. Right, what else do I need to say? Did I do the root chakra? I didn't I? Yeah. Right, okay. Now I want to go to, oh yeah, okay. Okay. Something else that I've discovered about the Sun Temples. Now, the Sun Temple is not just a tale of destruction, but also a reminder of resilience. And that's exactly what we are, the temple, as well as physical temples. But we are the crown, and the third eye is the temple. And through many, many lifetimes, that got blocked and controlled to keep us down into that 3D. The divine feminine's energy has been activated. And through the experience, through the healing that you've done, through the shadow self, through the ancestral bloodline, you have come to realize the resilience within your own DNA to activate. It feels like code to access a higher frequency, because this is the mission. This is what you're meant to do. Okay, so then it goes into Thoth, then the light codes. Something else I did put down here, it tells the story of a civilization that valued spirituality, art and culture. So the temples, everything represents spirituality, art and culture, that through political gain and power try to destroy all information, history, so that we couldn't pick it up to help in our own divinity, through our own healing. But like everything happens, so it's meant to happen. Even the internet, we find things out now. We see things that we didn't know. So everything still has come in our favour. What else do I want to say? Oh, I did write here, it is India's ancient heritage, a reminder of a time when the subcontinent was a centre of learning, wealth and spirituality, and how it withstood centuries of cultural erosion. That really is also saying about our own cultures, no matter wherever you are in the world, but also the erosion of the cultural erosion of the third eye in the crown, to keep us condensed in the 3D, the same as the manipulation of our DNA. The secret teachings that Christ gave me. Oh, okay, I didn't realise I put that. Oh, yeah, right, that's interesting. Okay, the secret teachings that Christ gave Mary so that she could pass through the 7 stages to reach the soul, which is the highest point of the soul. It is through this union with her soul allows Mary to see the risen Christ, which is the red egg, accessed, which is the root chakra. I've already gone through that. It was the 7 stages. So there was the other 7. In India, there's the 7 horses, where it's to do with the chakras, Sanskrit. And again, in the Bible, it's to do with the 7 stages to reach the soul. So yeah, it's all making sense there. So let's now go to Thoth, the light activation. Okay, so okay, let's see here. Okay, the High Priest King of Atlantis was dedicated to leading the Atlantorian people in a loving way that was firm but fair. However, no matter how hard he tried to direct them, many of them didn't obey the spiritual laws of the universe, which inevitably led to the end of their civilization. Their gateway takes you to a space where you can connect to the energetic frequencies that Thoth carries. As a master teacher of the stars, he holds space for you to connect with some of the greatest gifts from this lifetime and the many others you've lived. Thoth's primary teaching is spiritual integrity. He's working alongside a powerful congregation of evolved souls, the Ascendant Atlanteans, to guide those who are ready to increase their awareness. He specialises in helping those who are finding it difficult to make spiritual progress, to rise above the aspects of their life that are holding them back, and he helps awaken the teacher within. So by bringing in Thoth light code energy is to help you to carry on moving forward, to access the information, to become or strengthen the bridge to your unconditional love of self. to connect the divine within you. That's the energy I'm picking up. All this was all meant to be. All of it. Every single thing is still meant to be. From the beginning of time till now. The message that Thoth wants to tell you is you are blessed to connect with Thoth. You are going through a powerful set of light in initiations at this time, and these are preparing you to lead and teach from a powerful space of love. In order to complete the process, there will be a release of old ideas and limited stories, but this is necessary for you to connect with the true power within you. Don't be concerned by the intensity of the energies that surround you right now. And I feel that is to do with what's happening with Mother Earth right now. Okay? Facing shadow parts of yourself in your story is essential for connecting with the divine magic. And involved beings of light are there to lead the way. If you have any concerns or fears at this time, know that when fear gets loud, it's because you're on the cusp of something extremely powerful. So yeah, if you are one of those beautiful, blessed soul beings whose mission is to really come into union to your own divinity, but has been feeling stuck, tired out, exhausted, lethargic, just take into account that it's still meant to happen, just for you to pull back, relax, take it easy, but at the same time use your discernment with what's going on. Still take everything in, what you're learning. Understand what Mercury retrograde is bringing you, what information is being brought forward for you. Have you healed from what needs to be seen? Are you being shown how far you've come, how much you've healed, what you learned? Speaking your truth of who you are to help others in their own healing process. It's a very, very powerful time that you're going through. So yeah, that's beautiful. So the card I'm going to get now is the Star Seeds, which is affirmation cards. Okay. Strength. You are being guided by the cosmos. Stay strong. A positive outcome is assured. I'm going to read that again. The cosmos is bringing you strength. You are being guided by the cosmos. Stay strong. A positive outcome is assured. So whatever you think is happening that is going to knock you a little bit off kilt, get back grounded. Focus on your energy. Use your discernment. Everything is working out how it's meant to work out. Things are being cleared. Energy is being shifted. It's meant to happen. You're picking these up. You're picking up these energies. And yeah, use your discernment. Okay. Underneath, oh crikey, that's strange. It's like I've got a facing up card on both sides of this deck in my hand. That card is Ascension. Your soul is evolving to a higher states of consciousness. You are ready for this. Underneath is Blue Star. Follow the light of your inner compass, the blue star. It will lead you to the truth that resides within your soul. Wow. Beautiful. Okay. So, yeah, this reading is hopefully brought you some form of confirmation or clarification of what is happening right now, who is working around you, and what they are bringing in for you. I really feel that you're doing a lot of, you're helping others. I feel that you're going more into teaching, but you're just being drawn to the energy of it just feels as if you've been in a kind of oh God, I just got the saying, slow but steady. Slow but steady wins the race. That's what it's been. That's why it's been slow. Yeah, it's been slow. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, you're taking your time. You've been taking your time. Patience. And you know, patience has always had to be top forefront in your healing. It's patience. And it feels that everything is happening how it's meant to be happening. And you're going to have, it really feels you're going to have a surge of things coming together. It's going to shift you. I really am picking up strongly the 8/8 Lionsgate portal. The 8th of August is going to be very powerful. I definitely will be doing a reading on that. So, yeah, so thank you for joining me. And please comment. Any feedback would be awesome. And thank you for joining me, and God bless.